6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. Y'all, we got another game review for y'all. I'm gonna try to make it fast because I want to see Alabama versus UNC. But this game review is Clemson versus Arizona. Great game. I just got done watching it. Let's go ahead and get into it. So in the first half, Clemson was just having their fucking way with Arizona. But one guy who really kept Arizona afloat in that first half was KJ Lewis. He came in and had a huge defensive impact, and it seemed like on the offensive end, he was the only guy to really get those post entries into Balo. Caleb got one or two. Pella Larson couldn't get any in. Tabalo, Kylan, I don't recall him getting any in. So KJ Lewis, if I'm a Wildcat fan, I would hope, he doesn't hit the transfer portal, which I don't think he will, but who knows with these guys nowadays. But because next year I feel like he'll have a bigger role. And, next year, if this offseason he works on getting a consistent jumper, he'll definitely be, a bigger part of this Arizona team. But Clemson was having their way with Arizona. Seemed like they were having everything and getting everything to go in the interior, on the perimeter. Not only that, but playing great defense. And they looked real comfortable out there to really not be familiar with this environment before. I couldn't tell that guys on Arizona had experience and guys on Clemson didn't, in these type big games, because Arizona looked flustered early. They returned the ball over. And part of that is Clemson's defense. If you didn't respect Clemson's defense, then you definitely respect them now. Not only did they have a good outing against Baylor, but then the next game they come and they have another good outing against Arizona. So partially that's Clemson's defense. But then another part of that is also just being careless with the ball on Arizona's end and just making ill-advised passes and ill-advised decisions. Moving on to the second half, Clemson kind of eased up. I don't want to say they eased up, but when I say they eased up, I'm referring to they kind of gave Arizona some life and they gave them some hope. And let them kind of ease back into the game. Jaden Bradley, is a guy who in that second half really made a statement for Arizona. The first half I gave KJ Lewis his props, but you got to give Jaden Bradley his props in the second half. He was getting to the line, which, all players, that's what you should do. If you guys are struggling and you can't hit a shot, try get to the line. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Kylan couldn't hit, Caleb couldn't hit, Pella Larson couldn't hit. And, if you're a Wildcat fan, you got to be thinking, man, if one of these guys gets going, this game could be crazy. We could potentially still win this game. But for none of those guys to really get it going or get a rhythm, you're kind of looking for answers here. And they're playing a zone, really packed in zone where everyone's helping on Balo. So it is tough to get a post entry, if it's not only where Balo can get it, or if it's not immediately off the catch, on the wing or up top or something like that when the zone is moving. So yeah, Jaden Bradley got them in the bonus, put Clemson in the bonus early. And if I'm a Tigers fan, I would be scared, and I was scared for them because it seemed like he got them in the bonus at like the 15-minute mark. So if I'm a Wildcat fan, I'm thinking to myself, all we got to do, if we continue to keep missing these shots and we can't hit water if we fell out of boat, is make it to the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? Just make it to the line. So yeah, he started off with free throws, and you see, and that's why I tell guys, if you can't hit, get to the line, and you'll find your rhythm by just seeing it go through the basket, because that was the case with Jaden Bradley. Jaden Bradley ends up knocking down all these free throws, and now he's seeing it go through the basket. He's a 32% three-point shooter, but he ends up making a huge three to cut the lead to 2 points for Arizona. So props to Jaden Bradley. Great game, great outing for him. And good job keeping his team in it. But also, once again, you got to give Clemson credit. Clemson, their ball movement and their movement away from the ball is elite. It just seems like all those guys are always moving. And they did a great job later on in the game, milking a lot of the clock and just really taking their time to get the shot that they wanted each possession. And then not only that, Arizona had a lot of defensive miscommunications, and that comes from, like I said, Clemson's movement, ball movement, and off ball movement. There was times I think Clemson had like 3 blob plays that, guys were wide open. That can't happen if I'm Arizona. And if you guys don't know what blob is, baseline out of bounds. So coming out of a timeout or just a dead ball when they're under the basket, PJ Hall gets wide open. How does that happen? How does PJ Hall get a wide open dunk? How does Chef, I'm just calling him Chef, Clemson fans know who I'm referring to. How does Chef get a wide open, that just can't happen. You know what I'm saying? So it just seemed like Arizona, between them not being able to hit on the offensive end, and then on the defensive end, not really being locked in, not calling out switches and not communicating, that really played to their downfall. So props to Clemson. They had a good game. They'll go on to face the winner of this next game that I'm about to watch, Alabama and UNC. So great job from Clemson, and congrats to them for making it there in 40 years. For Arizona, disappointment, hurt. It's tough. But, Kylan Boswell should be spinning the block. I think he's a sophomore this year, so next year will be his junior year. I don't see him transferring, but like you say, but like I said, I don't know. I'm not sure if he was to transfer where he would go or if he even wants to transfer. But, yeah, I'm sure you guys got Kylan Boswell. I'm not sure about Ballo, what grade he's in. I know Caleb Love has one more COVID year, so if he decides to come back, which if I'm a Wildcat fan, I would hope that he would, or like I would just assume that he would, because this leaves a bad taste in his mouth. I mean, the last time, you got to think about his tournament career, his freshman year, I don't think they made the tournament. His sophomore year, they go to the championship game, lose to Kansas. The next year, they don't even graze the tournament, and they're in NIT conversations. And then his senior year, which is this year, they go and get upset by Clemson in the Sweet 16. So I would hope that Caleb would come back and give it another go. I think. Well, I don't know what grade Pella Larson is in. I'm not really. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't have notes. This is just off the top. Like, you guys know how I rock over here. So I don't know every guy's situation on this team. I don't have a computer. I don't have notes. I'm just speaking from, like, my the knowledge that I have right now. So but yeah, and then you got guys who have promised. Jaden Bradley, or not Jaden Bradley, but I mean Jaden Bradley too, because I believe he's a sophomore too. He had his freshman year at Alabama playing behind, Mark Sears and those guys. Then came here his sophomore year. So Jaden Bradley, if he decides to come back, and then, like I said, KJ Lewis, if he gets a jump shot over the offseason. So, I mean, this Arizona team has a lot of promise. I know these guys are probably hurt. But, yeah, who's to say what happens in the offseason? Disappointment for Wildcat fans. Celebration for Tigers. Great game from both teams. I enjoyed it. And I think I'm going to end it right there. I really don't have anything else to say. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Share it to the team. Share it to your friends. Don't give a fucking amount.